What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is After the Review with Peter and Terrell. With me, as always, is my co-host, Terrell. And this week, we got a couple of special guests with us, Riley and Dhalston, for our little NBA preview podcast, and we're just going to hop right into it. Let's talk about Battle for LA, boys. Clippers, Lakers. It's going to be hot this year, don't you think?
Yeah, man. I think the Clippers and Lakers, it would be a great deal going on. There'll be probably 6 or 7 games in LA. They'll probably be meaningful. Something different than it has been. So it'll be interesting to see. Staples Center will be rocking.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think, Riley?
Well, I think we got one of the best defensive teams and then one of the best offensive teams coming out of LA. So I think that'll definitely be a hell of a storyline for this year.
Yeah, even with PG hurt, you think that slows down the Clippers at all?
Not at all. Not at all. They're gonna tear up everybody defensively.
Yeah. All right, who you think's gonna get the better of each other, Dhalston? You think it's gonna be the Clippers or the Lakers in the head-to-head matchups?
And Clippers are good, but golly, it's LeBron and AD, dude. I can't go against it.
Oh, it's old
I like that.
reliable.
I like that a
Yeah,
lot.
old reliable LeBron.
You can't go against LeBron. He just added top 5 player to him, and then Kawhi and PG. I mean, that's tough too, but Braun, dude. So
Bron.
The
Tell
only
me,
thing I'm worried about with the Lakers is their shooting. I mean, they have a bunch
they
of big
got
guys,
no range. They got no range.
They don't have a ton of shooting, so it will be interesting to see. I heard someone say, Brian Windhurst said, I think Darren Collison is out there and somewhere in California doing some mission work or something like that. So they might give him a buzz mid-year. I'm just saying.
Bzz, bzz. Does it feel like maybe the NBA is moving a little bit away from the three-point shot? We didn't see the Raptors dominate necessarily with the three. Like, Kawhi's not a big-time three-point shooter. He's a attack-the-rim kind of guy, and that's what won it last year. So maybe we're moving a little bit away from that Golden State Warriors, just drain the threes all day, and more of a play some defense and take high-percentage shots. So we might be moving towards that. Tell me y'all saw the Clippers' new jerseys, though. Their city jerseys look like Grand Theft Auto. Y'all saw that, right?
Yeah, not great.
Oh,
Not great.
Oh, you don't like them? I thought they were live. Like the cool.
Yeah,
No,
dude.
I don't like those.
Love them.
Yeah.
Love
It was
them.
like-
Really?
Yeah,
No.
it
Yeah.
was like the San Andreas, right? It was like the little I thought it was like the Vatos, man. We're hanging out in the city. I thought it was cool as shit.
I can live without those.
I think you're hating. All right, so I guess
To go back to your point, though, yes, I think in a way the NBA is still moving. It's kind of moving to some big ball, back to the bigger man playing basketball. Like the 76ers are doing it. The Lakers have done it. There's a couple other teams who've done it, but I still think people are going to shoot a lot of threes. That's just like basketball is where we are now. The analytics tell you to kind of shoot threes and not play with big guys. So I think we'll still have that. It'll just be interesting. It'll be an interesting mix between that and other things. So it'll be a lot of lineup changes. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, I think it's three-point shooting wins you regular season games and not necessarily playoff games when it comes down to it, when teams actually play good defense. Because we know Tuesday night in, Chicago, I'm taking half the night off playing defense and shooting-wise. You just try and get out of there with a win. So we'll see. We'll definitely agree. But elephant in the room, LeBron and the whole China Daryl Morey situation kind of rolling out right before the season. Is LeBron the bad guy for this one, guys?
He bit his tongue pretty fast. He had to come out with a statement saying
2
his
tweets.
words were taken out of context. Which, I don't know how that happens when you're on video.
I agree. I mean, he knows who's writing him checks. He kind of like, yo, Daryl, calm down, bro. We got a little side hustle going on in China, man.
Yeah, he's got that movie coming out. He wants all of China to buy it.
yeah, I
Space Jam
think
2.
I think a little part of it was like Daryl was like, I'm going to China. Why the fuck would you say that? Like, I don't know what's going on in China. I'm not on my U.S. soil, so it's kind of like safety for my family and everything. So I think that was a bit of it too. So, but he definitely, to walk that back as soon as he heard the backlash. So, and it's of a guy who has a media advisor and everything. So it's really weird that he misspoke. So.
Yeah, it was just awkward. Like the whole situation was awkward. Adam Silver, who I've said before, I think he's a terrible commissioner. he seems to be. He was one way like against Daryl Morey, then now he's with Daryl Morey, and it's I don't know. He's just kind of it seems like a wet fish out there, not really taking a point. But I don't know.
Wait.
What?
You think Adam Silver's a horrible commissioner?
I don't think he's a good commissioner. He's like the Crypt Keeper. He's like Mr. Skeleton Man. He just says stuff. He doesn't really do anything. It's not like he hasn't.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's a bad commissioner.
So, Adam Silver or David Stern?
Oh, definitely David Stern.
Really? David Stern was horrible.
Nah,
he
man.
let the Sonics get moved.
Nah. David Stern was strict, but it was a good product. Good basketball product.
I think Adam Silver is much more of like a player's commissioner, and people enjoy him more. And definitely, I think I see a better vibe out of him. He's kind of lax on some things, but I definitely think he's way better than David Stern.
So I'm gonna get a little in trouble for saying this, but it's like the inmates run the asylum, right? Like the players are running the league right now. He's not really much of a commissioner. Was my point? Really, my point. It feels like
I mean,
yeah.
I can see where you're coming from in that.
Players provide the product, so at the end of the day, like I think that they have a right to kind of dictate.
I think it's a balance.
What they want to do.
Yeah, I think it's a balance. Like the NFL, I'm not gonna say Goodell's a good commissioner, but you don't see like we saw like these trade demands with the NFL and stuff like that.
But exactly, you're like seeing in the NFL now though.
But
literally, these NFL players are watching what NBA guys are doing. I can do the same thing. So boom, AB, Jalen, like, this is the exact same thing. I mean, AB did it though. Yeah, he's in trouble. He's not in the league right now, but he definitely did it. Like forced his way out of a situation that he didn't like.
We're not gonna get down that rabbit hole tonight, but it's just my thing. But we'll see how it plays out. Hopefully things did calm down a little bit. They did play the 2 games. They're back on the U.S. soil. Hopefully things kind of get back out. But let's look at we talked about the Lakers and the Clippers, 2 teams. We all expect them to be at the top of the West, right? Everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right,
definitely.
who else do we like up there? Like I'm thinking the Nuggets and the Rockets for sure.
Don't forget the Jazz.
Yeah, the Jazz.
Jazz are interesting for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, they added a lot. They filled their weaknesses, right?
Yeah, they finally got a point guard, so Jonathan
Mike-
Mitchell doesn't have to play point guard.
Mike Conley shows up, dude. Veteran guard. Add him to that. I mean,
Dude,
it's kind of nice.
yeah, Mr. Underrated. Talk about a guy who's never made the All-Star game, and he feels like he's not like real player. Real people know how great Mike Conley is. I feel like the average fan maybe doesn't know it, but he's a real game
Well,
changer.
yeah, the GMs had their vote. The vote came out today. The survey vote came out today. He was the most underrated player in the NBA. People said so. The GMs definitely know. People who play basketball gets them know he's pretty good, but just underrated from I guess in a viewer's eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think adding Conley, getting the ball out of Donovan Mitchell's hands will help out a lot because he was doing too much last year, and it just really hurt the team.
Right.
Yeah, he was doing everything.
Was it year 3 for the Spider now? He's ready to trap everybody in his web and make everybody pay.
Also, it's all about Joe Ingles. Let's be honest.
Oh, that white boy Joe Ingles.
Have y'all ever seen this man play basketball? You ever really watched this man play basketball?
Yeah, he looks like a guy who I played pickup against in the Y.
But he's the most smooth and purest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful sight.
Yeah, and they picked up another white guy. They picked up Bogdanovich. So
Yeah.
he's nice too. He's pretty good. So I think the Utah Jazz will be a sleeper. I mean, it's not really a sleeper because everyone has them like I don't know about pick to win, but they think they're definitely gonna make a playoffs and make some noise.
And
but
they're really
they'll be
well
exciting
coached
team.
on top of it. That makes all the difference in the playoffs, and I think they're really well coached as far as we saw it 2
Right.
years ago when they were in the playoffs. They made a little bit of hay, a little bit of noise when they were young. Kind of fell back a little bit last year, but they should be back. And then how do we think the Rockets? How do we think Westbrook Harden 2.0 are going to work?
I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
Are they going to be able to cut up the ball?
That's the $1 million question.
I think it's going to be awesome personally, but
Oh,
I think it's gonna be exciting. I'm excited to watch it. I mean, we kind of saw a glimpse of it with CP3. I mean, like it would just be like them kind of taking turns in a sense, but it'll be just a more juvenized point guard, a little younger, more some more springs and everything. So
CP3's a dick, but he's got high basketball IQ. Like he can make things work for a little bit. I don't know if Russell has high basketball IQ. I think he's just a
One
lunatic.
thing,
Like, he's a
one
crazy
thing you
person.
know, but one thing you know you're gonna get from Russ is like high motor
Mhm.
entire time.
Every
He's an
100%
attacker.
energy, effort.
So-
yeah, you're gonna get it all. Yeah.
So
And
James isn't gonna have to handle it all the time like Russ. And like you can say what you want about Russ as a point guard, but like he averaged a triple double for those for a reason.
Yeah.
He can pass the ball. He can drive and kicks. So wide open threes for James sounds pretty good to me. But
Yeah, but James does most of his work with the ball. That's where he's able to draw the fouls.
because he has to,
step
right?
backs.
Well, he was #1 usage ISO player last year, wasn't he? I
Right.
believe. Yeah, super high usage and super high
And I think
ISO.
Russell was like 3 or something like that. It was crazy. So it'll be like it'll definitely,
No,
yeah.
100%, yeah.
interesting to see how they both make it work. But I think they'll be definitely
So-
be exciting.
I do like that point where you said Russell's going to give you the high energy, and that's been kind of the knock on the Rockets. Harden runs out of gas late in the season because he has to use so much usage during the
Mhm.
season. So maybe we can get a little ebb and flow between the two because Russell seems to be kind of the same way in the playoffs. And he about
I mean, there's no Western Conference Finals or nothing. Let's not get carried away.
yeah, ooh.
Ooh, really?
Ooh.
Yeah, no. I mean, Rockets run into Clip Show or the Lakers, it's over. So
Oh, all right, that's fair.
Okay.
Point. All right, how about
That's
the
interesting.
little teams toward the bottoms? Who do we think are like our 7-8 seeds down there? Riley, what do you think we got?
Wait,
I got,
we skipped the
Wait, who we skipped?
skip the 6th seed.
This-
So we talked about 4
No,
teams. We did the Rockets, Jazz, and we obviously had the Lakers.
I
the
mean,
Nuggets.
okay, we could talk about Denver. I think
Clippers.
everyone's got Denver in there, right?
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
Denver.
Denver's gonna be good again, absolutely.
But are they
But my-
ready to make a leap in the playoffs with with Jokic?
I got them as
I
like
just-
3 seed.
I feel like
3
yeah,
seed,
but they were what were they the 2 seed last year? It feels like they're missing an elite scorer.
Yes, they don't.
Mhm.
They're missing a dominant backcourt player.
Yeah, somebody go
Did they get-
go get me a bucket with 2 minutes to play in a tie game. Go get me a bucket.
I think Jamal Murray takes that step and is that guy this year. And they get Michael Porter Jr., a healthy Michael Porter Jr. this year.
Yeah.
We don't know what he could be. He could.
Right.
I mean, he was eventually. He was going to be the first overall pick. So if he comes out to be that type of player, then man, watch out for
Yeah,
the Nuggets.
I actually forgot he was on that team. So.
Healthy is a big question mark. I don't know how healthy he's going to be, but you're right. He was the #1 high school player coming out, going to college, and he has been hurt for 2 years now. So maybe they get, even if you get 15 and 7 from him, that's that's maybe all they need from the second
That's
team.
awesome.
Yeah.
That would be great.
But
Yeah,
I
I think the Nuggets will, make some noise for sure.
I think they'll be a high seed. Like I said, though, I don't see them when you get into a series against LeBron or you get into a series against Kawhi and Paul or even James and Russell. Those are guys that'll go get you a bucket with 2 minutes to play in a tie game. I'm getting you a hoop. No matter what, you can put 6 dudes on me. I'm scoring. Doesn't matter. We're getting 2 points right here. And I just don't. I don't think Jamal Murray is that guy ever. I think he's just a good kind of #2 guy.
Okay, I can see what you're saying there, but he kind of showed us that last year that he could be kind of that guy in spurts. He was very up and down, but
He definitely did that
I'm
against the Spurs in the playoffs for sure. I mean, he was that dude. So
Yeah,
I
but
can't say he can't do it, but
they did lose a game 7 at home against the guy who is that dude in Portland. Do we think do the Trailblazers get in? Or are they kind of lower seed, but they get back?
Yeah, the Trailblazers definitely get in.
Yep. Are they gonna make another deep run?
I don't know. It's gonna be tough.
They're gonna be low in the probably 6-7 range, and then they're gonna have to play one of those top teams with those like main superstars in the league, and I don't think they can do that. It's gonna be a repeat of what they did probably like 2 or 3 years ago when they would play Golden State and just get swept out in the first round.
Yeah, it's a tough though, but that's not necessarily a team you want to play in the first round if you're those big boy teams. You go through the grind of the season and then you get guys that are, let's be honest, McCollum and Lillard, those are dogs with massive big game experience. You don't want to get kind of stuck in the longer series in the first round against those guys.
yeah.
No, not at all. And if they could get Hawaii Whiteside to play back to his level before he got paid, and I think they'll be all right. And they'll get Nurkic back mid-year. So I think they'll be pretty good. Like you said, you don't want to see them in the first round, but it's probably how it's going to end up.
All right. What do we think about the Warriors? Are the Warriors getting in?
definitely getting in. Like they're not the Warriors of what we all know, but they're definitely still getting in. They still got a lot of talent. Still have Steph, they still have Draymond, and they got D'Angelo Russell. Like those are 3 All-Stars. So I know they're not the Warriors of what we know, but still got 3 All-Stars. They'll be fine. And they have Steve Kerr still, so they'll be good.
Yeah, well, what's the depth issue? Do you think they have enough depth, Dawson, for them to make get in and make a good run again?
I'm honestly not sure. I don't. It's hard for me. So I was going through this list for the West. And I actually skipped over Golden State and had my list without them being on it.
Ooh.
And I had to go back, and I was like, oh, there's Golden State.
Oh yeah, just those guys.
Just those guys, but it's not those guys, you know. So I have to see if D'Lo's not a big factor. I don't see Steph and Dre carrying them to a top seed in the West, or even 7 or an 8 seed.
Just even getting in the West.
Making a run is not even a deal. Yeah, the West is so deep, and there's no way a team's gonna let Steph and Dre just carry. There's no way.
I know Terrell's high on them because he was talking about how great Steph Curry was, but
he is great.
Yeah, we're putting so much disrespect on Steph Curry's name.
No,
right
man,
Come on.
He is great, but I can't say that 6 or 7 of the best teams in the West will allow Steph to just do whatever he wants. Away.
I mean, is it really? I mean, you're talking about them double teaming him.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
it's so hard.
Why not?
He's so hard to double team. You can't really double team Steph Curry. He's running up screens. He brings the ball up. And he pulls up from wherever. So I mean, unless you literally guard him as soon as he gets the ball from outlet, and then kind of hard to double team him.
I just think there's so much more that goes into winning 82 games or going through an 82 game season, making a playoff. There's so much more that goes into that, other than just shooting the 3 ball.
No, I totally agree.
Steph can't play D. How top tier defensive guys. KD's not there. Clay's out. I mean, you're missing 60 points now.
I agree.
Dre can't shoot last year. Can he shoot this year? I don't know. So it's tough for me to say yeah, these dudes are gonna be back when you're missing quality talent.
All right. So we seem pretty close on about the top 6 or 7. Riley, who's your 8th seed in the West? Who's going to be battling for that 8th, 9th seed down there at the West? Who's sneaking in?
I think the Pelicans. They got a young team. Should be pretty exciting with Zion down there. All the assets they got from the Lakers. I think they sneak in over. I got the Spurs in the 9 spot.
Yeah, that pop streak has to end eventually, unfortunately. Yeah. For Dhalston, I know our Spurs fan in the room, but
San Antonio's getting it. I know y'all aren't gonna disrespect the Spurs like that and not put them in there.
So they do.
I'm definitely gonna disrespect Spurs.
That's a travesty. Truly a travesty.
To be fair, Pop kind of showed his weakness this summer at the World Basketball Cup. We got
bad players, bro.
Oh my god!
Don't put that on Pop.
It's not like
a B team.
Yeah, he was
C team out. Wasn't even a B team.
But that team beats the Spurs. To be fair, that team is better than what the Spurs have all around. I mean, LaMarcus is another year older. I mean,
but he's not playing against all-stars.
DeMar DeRozan's gonna carry. I don't know if he can carry them.
The Spurs are gonna be better than they were last year. I can tell you that.
Ooh.
So he got in last year. You get DJ back.
You do get
Lonnie Walker's up, and he's in our lineup. He's in our rotation. Derek White, who is on the USA team, he's firmly in our 5-man squad. Patty led Australia, was balling this summer. I mean, Damari Carroll for defense, Rudy Gay still there. I think we definitely
get DeJounte back too, your point guard.
Yeah. Yes, he's back. He's healthy. He's balling. I don't know if y'all seen it. Follow Spurs on IG. He looks good.
He was doing the same thing during the playoffs last year. They had him jumping around just.
Yes, they did. Yeah. He's good to go.
Making him feel good. I'm with Riley personally. I think the Pelicans get in, just because. Yeah, it's just hard. Teams play Wednesday, Tuesday night. and they're a young team, New Orleans, they're going to steal wins left and right, and they're going to find themselves with 45 wins towards the end of the season, and that might be enough to make a push to get in at that 8 seed. You know, they steal a lot of games, those November games, those December games. You start off with a good record, and then JJ Redick's never missed the playoffs. That's the type of leader you want on your squad to get you in.
Yeah. See, the 8. As long as the Spurs are at the 6. I'm happy.
That's why Golden State's not getting in. That's why you guys.
That's right. That's why Golden State's not getting in.
What about you?
Yeah,
T?
I don't know about that. I think the Kings will get into the last spot. I like what they're doing. They almost snuck in last year, and I think they may get over their hurdle this year and get in there.
I don't
So,
hate that.
I like what they're doing.
De'Aaron Fox, Vlade Divac smoking a cigarette, putting that team together, and they kind of got a good young core, and they put together, it feels like a year and a half of good basketball they've put together, so you might be right on that one. Let's see if they can actually put a full season together of winning basketball, because the West is a absolute gauntlet this year. I think we can all agree with. But
What about the Mavs?
Ooh, that's what the Mavs, a good one. I was gonna knock on. How about our surprise teams in the West? And I think that's a perfect place to start. What do we think about the Mavs, boys?
I
think they're a year away. Oh.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're a year away because
If
we
they
get Tim Hardaway's contract out after the end of this year. Go out and get a big free agent signing, and then come back next year ready to go, make a playoff run.
I think if they made the playoffs this year, it wouldn't surprise me. I think Luka takes the step of really owning the team. KP comes in, does a nice job. Some of these older guys get a little bit better. If they take it over, if they were to sneak in the 8 seed, it wouldn't surprise me at all. I kind of like the Mavs. It's just that only 8 teams can make the playoffs in the West. So
I'm excited to watch KP and Luka, dude. Like, talk about 2 dudes who guys are going to look at. I mean, guys in the NBA know that they can hoop, right? But, like, there's always that underlying, like,
They're white.
How good are they really? Because they don't look like me, kind of thing.
They're white European players.
And
how much can
these
they
are
actually
dudes
do?
that they can flat out. So
Luka, I called Luka last year. I for sure know Luka can. I don't know what KP we're gonna get. I don't know what kind of Porzingis we're gonna get back. If we can get the unicorn, pre-injury, where he was looking out of this world in New York, like MVP level candidate, then they're definitely a danger. But it was an Achilles tear, wasn't it? I think
it's an ACL.
It was an ACL, but any leg, it's hard to deal with a big guy. He's so big. It's hard to come back from. So we'll see. Yeah. I'm just going to kind of pump the brakes on them a little bit. But if we can get Porzingis back to Porzingis of old, they're definitely going to be a surprise. Anybody else out there that we're not thinking of in the West?
I'm sure we're forgetting somebody, but that's it for now that I can think of.
Memphis and Ja going to carry those tanking Grizzlies?
No. They got a couple.
Yeah. How about Cat? How about Cat and the Timberwolves? Anything out of them, or is Cat kind of a flaw?
Cat's busy.
He ain't got nobody to help him there.
Andrew Wiggins needs to come play basketball or something for them to take.
Hold up. When Cat did have people there, he couldn't get into the playoff, barely get into the playoffs. So I'm not sure if I'm kind of low on Cat these days. Him and Devin Booker kind of remind me of the same player. Like, they put up great stat number lines, but they don't win basketball games when it's all said and done.
Okay, the Devin Booker situation is completely different from Cat. Devin Booker hasn't had anybody play with, and the Suns have been switching coaches left and right. Like, it's a totally different situation. Yeah, the whole Suns organization is just a complete mess. But unlike Cat, we had like Jimmy Butler for half a year and all this other stuff. So.
No, they're still in the basement of the basement. You think you could do a little bit better than the basement? Maybe DeAndre Ayton. People are pretty high on him. He looked okay last year. Nah.
I mean, I'm sure he's good, but
he
didn't make no playoff.
Yeah, going back to like we said, the big men kind of moving away from, it's been a 3-point league, especially in the regular season. It's shoot the 3 and rain the 3. But all right, let's take a look at the East. What do we have at the top? We have the Sixers, the Bucks, the Nets, the Celtics, and the Pacers. That sound about right for everybody?
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how do we see the top balance? How do we see the top balancing out, T?
I think the 76ers take the number 1 seed. and the Bucks follow with the 2 seed, and then after that, it can get shaky. I mean, the Celtics can get in there, the Nets can get in there, even though they're without KD, or even the Pacers might be able to surprise some people and get in there in 30 seed too. So I think the 1 and 2, you could flip them each way, however you want to go. I'm not gonna argue with you there. But after we get to the 3 seed, it's really like between those 3 teams, anybody can really take it.
Now, do we think the Celtics get better without Kyrie? Yes. You think they're better, Dhalston?
Yes. Yeah, I think a Kyrie-less Boston Celtics become dangerous with who they have on them. So, they're actually my 1.
Ooh.
So,
the Celtics are 1, huh?
They are, yeah. Ooh, they are.
We got a hot take alert. That's a little of a hot take. What do you think?
Kemba comes in. Kemba's a hooper. Don't sleep on Kemba. Still got Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. Gordon Hayward's going to be a 1 year better, healthier, Marcus Smart. And then they add this kid, Carson Edwards from Purdue, been shooting lights out.
But is he going to give you PT, though?
I mean, you would think this kid that comes out here and just drains threes is going to get PT, but I don't know. That's a good question.
But of course,
that goes on that.
Of course, this kid Carson Edwards he's okay all year for Purdue, and then he catches absolute fire in the tournament, and the Celtics just find him super late in the draft. It's like, of course they do, because it's the Celtics, and Brad Stevens and them always seem to get these kind of late round picks that make plays, like Scary Terry.
Danny Ainge.
Yeah.
Danny Ainge. Don't give Brad Stevens credit.
I'm giving Brad Stevens credit. He definitely evaluates these talent also. He tells them what he wants. So Danny Ainge traded for Kyrie. Brad Stevens wanted no part of Kyrie, and he made it very obvious last year. But anyway, they seem like
also to add real quick, the Heat. I forgot about them. They are up there with the third team. They can get in there. Yeah, I like the Heat. What they can do. I think they're eventually going to trade for Chris Paul, and they'll have Chris Paul, Jimmy Butler, and I like what Tyler Hero's been doing in the preseason, and I think they have a couple pieces to be pretty competitive there in the East.
I got the Heat barely getting in. Did you see Jimmy Butler showed up for a 10 a.m. practice, the first practice of the preseason at 3:30 in the morning? His teammates are already done with his nonsense. I mean, some say it's nonsense, some say it's hard work, but they're already done with him. Like, Jimmy Butler has got a screw loose or two up in his head about hard work and ethic, and NBA guys aren't all about that all the time, especially in the preseason. So I could see them getting in, but I think not at the top. Barely. I have them a low E seed if they get in at all.
Okay, I didn't think they're going to surprise you. More than you think. Dude, did you just come up with that and say Jimmy Butler's teammates are done, or did you actually hear something?
No, I just. So I've heard.
Is that the Pete analysis we got going on?
Well, from every stop we've had from Jimmy Butler, teammates are said they're done with him, except for the Sixers, because they're a little bit. Joel Embiid's not the most sane human being as it is to begin with, so I can see why it worked down there. But you saw what happened in Minnesota. Cat and Andrew Wiggins, 2 young guys who were supposed to be the face of the league in a couple years, kind of were sick and tired of it, and it's not like the Heat have anybody that are going to be okay with this. So I just think,
to your credit, though, not to your credit, but to your opposite. I mean, the Timberwolves haven't done anything. We just talked about them. They still haven't done anything without Jimmy Butler. So Jimmy Butler was right.
I'm not gonna argue that Jimmy Butler's not right. I just think teammates get sick of it. I think it's two different issues. Jimmy Butler's a great basketball player, and Jimmy Butler was the closest person anybody got to beating the Raptors last year for the title, because nobody got close, and Jimmy Butler had the Sixers in the game, and if it wasn't for the craziest shot maybe in NBA history, the Raptors are going home at Game 7. So we'll see.
Okay, good point.
I think, I like Jimmy Butler. I just think it's kind of a mentality, generational type thing. It feels like the younger guys aren't necessarily I don't want to knock on young guys, but not necessarily the hardest of workers. They don't like to work. They kind of like to play Fortnite and, just chill, like KD says. Just want to hoop and play video games.
Yeah, but KD was like an anomaly, so it's kind of he can hoop and play video games. Because
it feels like Kyrie's kind of the same guy. Kyrie's just the kind of guy. He wants
Kyrie is weird. He's different. He's
Kyrie is weird.
He's a different weird guy. He's like, I don't know. He just can't even explain. He's a weird dude.
Yeah. But the Pacers, they're going to be in there too, right? We think, with Oladipo coming back mid-season.
Yeah, they just got to make it to the middle of the season to get Victor back because don't know how they're going to score without him to start the
Right.
year.
But they did a good job last year. They were missing Victor for about half the year, and
Well,
they were the 3 seed, I think, when he got hurt, and they finished as the 4 seed in the East. So it's not like the bottom of the East is very strong. So you can definitely win games.
that's true. And then also they picked up T.J. Warren and Malcolm Brogdon, so they'll be able to score. I just like don't think they'll have that Victor D'Lo type of player who can just go get a bucket whenever you need it.
Yeah. What do we think about Giannis and the Bucks? Do they make the next step moving forward? Maybe win the Eastern Conference?
Maybe. I don't know. I think the Sixers got a solve for the Bucks. I mean, to make they'll make the Eastern Conference Finals, but the finals I think will be a little tough. I mean, the Sixers are so big, and Giannis can't just overpower everyone. Like he's gonna run into walls. Joel Embiid, Al Horford. I mean, even Ben Simmons. Like those guys are huge. So I just don't think he'll be able to do that like he does to everyone else.
Do we think about Chris Middleton? Does he regress a little bit after having a great year last year?
Uh, I don't know. He showed the Bucks down in Aggieland last weekend versus Bama, so I
Did.
can't really say. I can't say anything bad about him right now. He's showing love. He's going back to his old alma mater and showing some love. So can't say too many bad things about him. But I don't think he'll be Chris Middleton like he is again. I don't know if he'll be an All Star again, but he'll be just the same Chris Middleton that he was last year. I think.
Yeah, I'm definitely all about picking up Giannis as an Aggie for life from a guy from Greece. He doesn't know anything about college or college football,
Right.
so that's a good first experience for him. Hopefully, we can pick up a fan for life. But who do we have?
Yeah.
Do the Raptors get in, guys, without Kawhi,
No.
defending champs?
Get
No.
in.
Yeah,
You
get
don't
in.
think they get
I
in?
mean, sure, yeah, get in, sure. But
I'm with
they're not
I'm
gonna
with
do
you,
nothing.
Dawson.
Yeah,
You don't.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you.
Kyle Lowry's kind of a.
they paid
yeah.
Kyle Lowry, and that just tells you everything. No, so
I mean, they might trade Kyle Lowry mid-year if they want to
they
blow
need to
everything up.
trade Kyle Lowry. Yeah, get rid of him. But
Yeah, might as well for some pieces because he'll just walk next year. He's a free agent, so
right,
I agree.
So is Siakam the future of this team?
he's a nice
100%.
piece. Yeah, a nice piece. I don't know who goes to Toronto though to like make them better. So it's hard to say that they're gonna be back. Like Kawhi, that was their one chance. They
Yeah.
should cherish it for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, you
It's not happening again.
You
but-
sold everything to get the title, and you got the title.
Right.
So
Right, and you
win.
did exactly that, and you should frame it up. Make it really big in your arena so that everybody sees it for the next 50 years. I don't know how they do it again.
All right. Who's getting in? Who's our 8th seed? Kind of, Riley. What do you think? Who's you think sneaking in to the East?
So I was watching a preseason game a week ago, and the Bulls looked surprisingly good.
Whoa.
They were making every shot. They were playing stellar defense. They picked up Otto Porter in the offseason. I think he comes out, makes a big difference for that young team. And then those young pieces, they're going to grow. Zach LaVine, he's going to turn into, I think, a borderline all-star. And I think they sneak in. Yeah, Kobe White, the rookie, Laurie McCartnett. I think he does something for that team as well, stretching the field, hitting those threes. I think they're going to make some noise and get into the playoffs.
Whoa, that
Wendell
feels like
Carter will be healthy this year too. So yeah, I'm with you, Riley. I don't know if they make the 18. I got between them and the Magic to make the 8 seed, but I do like the Bulls this year a lot. I like what they're gonna do. A bunch of young pieces, so I'm excited to watch them. Might be a league pass team for me.
Ooh, you're gonna pay that little single team pass. How about? I think everybody's sleeping on this team personally. How about the Detroit Pistons? They got in last year, and Blake Griffin's back. They got Derrick Rose as a pickup. It's a good
I'm
pick.
with you with Detroit.
You're with Detroit. You're with me on Detroit. You think the Pistons
I
kind
am.
of they're not great, but they feel like they got Thon Maker. They got a lot of Reggie Jackson. They got a lot of guys that can just kind of win you basketball games. I'm not sure they can beat anybody in the playoffs, but
Yeah.
they got
But I
in
think
last
they're good.
year without Blake. Blake was hurt, for a
Right.
large chunk of the finish of that season, and they definitely got in. So, all right, me and Dawson are on the Pistons, and Riley and Terrell are on the Bulls. I like that. Any surprises from the Tankapalooza in the East? Like, are the Hawks any good, guys? Do we think the Hawks make a little push?
The
Mm.
Hawks are fun to watch, but I don't know if they're any good. One quick baseball game. Bases loaded with the Astros.
Let's not talk about this. No,
The top of the eighth, 7-3. Sorry, Pete, but your Yankees was like they're not gonna be able to pull this one out.
We're not talking.
But you
about,
never know.
We're not talking about this.
Okay.
NBA preview. We're not talking about anything.
Okay.
Anything else? How about the Knicks? Does RJ Barrett lead the Knickerbockers anywhere? Anybody?
No,
To
the Knicks.
To a lottery pick next year. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna lead them exactly there.
He's gonna add some more talent. But
Oh,
about it.
dopey. How about I know y'all saw this. How about Bradley Beal? What is he thinking signing a 2-year extension with the Wizards? That is a team going.
He's thinking
nowhere.
I'm getting paid. What do you mean?
But I feel like
That's
any good
true.
team would pay him. He's a great shooter, and he's young as can be. The Wizards are going nowhere fast with John Wall and that team. It's just, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was one of my notes actually. It was like, why did the Wizards sign?
I was surprised the Wizards
max?
offered him. Yeah.
Yeah, like you might as well be probably better off shipping him off somewhere. They really like him. The owner like really loves Bradley Beal, so he won't let him go. So like I know teams are called about him, but like
And
I
they
guess
just
that's his reason for maxing him out. It's like if you really want him, then you have to pay for him too.
they can't get rid of
Yeah.
They can't get rid of John Wall's contract is the issue. I think. I don't think anybody wants Wall to be there, and they just can't unload that contract. You would think one of these bad teams would take it, like Cleveland. Why
No,
wouldn't the
dude,
Cavs
no one
just?
wants that contract, dude.
I think.
Why?
Why
Why would Cleveland want him? They have two young point guards.
No, I'm saying somebody eat the contract that's not going to be competitive. Memphis, just anybody get butts in the seats to sell some tickets. I'm sure he still draws some people to games.
Nah, John Wall. I'm not going against John Wall. Sorry.
Oh,
It's old, chunky. It's just not a good look, dude. Hey, but he signed that contract. He's getting paid.
Yeah,
I
he'll
don't
be
know
all right.
what
That's his life.
that
It was,
number
it was
is.
stupid.
in
It was
years.
just dumb.
it's
He's gonna be making like 40 plus in a couple of years for like multiple. So
It's gross. All right, let's go to award winners. We'll go in order. Terrell, who's your MVP for the season?
MVP dark horse. I guess not a dark horse, but I got MVP Steph Curry.
Ooh.
I want to talk about this though. Why we can talk about it after everyone picks their MVP, but why do you need to be on a good team to win MVP? My thoughts on it is like if your team's like okay and they're barely trying to make the playoffs or they're middle of the pack, but you're like really good and you get your team to that point, that should consider you for the MVP. Is like without me, this team would be completely garbage. We're just like mediocre right now because I'm so good. So that's why I think Steph Curry will win. I'll pick him to win, but I don't think he will win because the Warriors won't be that good. So I think it's kind of stupid.
To be fair, the MVP is not really the MVP by definition. That's what the MVP is. But it's really who's the best player on the best team or the best storyline. It's become in basketball. So, but I like that Steph's got a good storyline. He loses KD, Klay Thompson's out most of the year, and if they have a good record, he definitely could be it. Dawson, who's your MVP?
man, my man's is coming back to claim his crown, his throne.
Ooh!
LeBron. It's LeBron. He adds AD, like healthy. He's rested, dude. I don't think he's ever chilled for this long, like his life, probably. From being out last season and just relaxing at the end of the year, not making the playoffs. So
I agree. I had LeBron.
be good to go.
I was fighting with it. I have LeBron too. I think the King takes his crown back in LA because the Lakers have a big season, big run. Riley, who's your MVP?
He's looked good in the preseason too.
Yeah.
He's like he's out for revenge.
He's fresh.
It's good to go.
All right, Riley.
I got LeBron as well. I think so far this offseason it looks like he's having fun. So I think he comes out and just destroys the league. I think he leads the Lakers to a number 1 seed in the West. So I think he ends up coming out on top in the MVP race.
All right, so who's your defensive player of the year then?
I think Draymond Green.
Ooh.
That team, he needs to lead them on defense because all the people they lost. I think he just shuts everybody down and ends up getting the award.
All right, I like it. I like it. Kind of the same mode as Terrell. Dawson, who's your
Yeah.
defensive MVP or player of the year?
Giannis can't win MVP this year. It's going to Braun, so Giannis is going to get that. That'll be his here, you're still really good. You had a good season. You block a lot of shots. You get steals and stuff. So we'll get play of the year.
I completely agree. I think he finished second behind Gobert last year, so I think he gets the nod this year. I was flirting between him or AD. So basically, if Giannis doesn't get MVP and LeBron gets MVP, he's getting Defensive Player of the Year. But if Giannis gets MVP, I think AD will get Defensive Player of the Year because I think the Lakers are going to be a big step up. So it's kind of like we got the Lakers Bucks mix going there. What about you, T? Who's your Defensive Player of the Year?
I'm with Riley. I got Draymond. Also like kind of like dark horse Joel Embiid to win Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, no, that's gonna be kind of hard with Al Horford because Al Horford is such a beast down low. But I like the Draymond Green. I think the only things that hurt Draymond Green is they're gonna be so bad on the perimeter defensively wise. I mean, they won't have Klay to mid year if he even comes back this year, and they're just expecting like Steph and D'Lo to play defense. I think Draymond can kind of be out of position a lot more than he's accustomed to. So that would make him not be as elusive as he can be. But he's my pick still.
You're really high on the Warriors, it seems like.
I think they're still gonna be good. I think they're still gonna be good. Come on now.
Weird.
We're giving them that's T's team this year, the Warriors. Wow, what a he's really going out there picking a underdog that everyone can root for. That's never been good. How about Rookie of the Year? Who's Rookie of the Year?
I think we all are in agreement that Zion wins Rookie of the Year, but I think we should pick Rookie of the Year if Zion were to roll his ankle and miss like 4 months of basketball or something crazy. I think we should pick a different Rookie of the Year, non-named Zion.
All right, are we all good with that?
Are we all in agreement?
Do we all have Zion?
For our Rookie of the Year?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm okay with that. All right, who's your Rookie of the Year then, T? Not named
Zion. I got Darius Garland from the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think he's gonna be pretty good. He didn't get to play much last year. He was at Vanderbilt. He played like 10 games. So people haven't really seen him, but he's a nice kid. He's got a good game, so I think he'll be the Rookie of the Year if Zion were not.
All right, that's pretty good. I'm going with, another explosive player, someone who's going to be really flashy. I think Ja wins it. If Zion's not winning it, I think Ja's winning it. He could dunk himself through any arena in basketball. He's got freak plays, big plays, explosive plays. Memphis is not going to be good, but he's going to be explosive, and he's going to get his numbers. So if Zion's not winning it, I think Ja's going to win it. What about you, Dalston?
I'm with you with Ja. I mean, it's a high usage guy. He's gonna have the ball in his hand every play. So, everybody's gonna see his highlights. Everybody's gonna see him scoring, dunking on people, whatever, passing the ball. So if Zion, for whatever reason, wouldn't win it, I would pick Ja.
All right, Riles, who's your rookie?
I think Ja as well. I think he'll come in, put up kind of similar numbers to Luka, probably a little bit less. I think he averages like 15, 8, and 6, which I think would be good enough to win Rookie of the Year. So I think he definitely might help or like push the limit with Zion if he stays healthy.
Yeah, those are good numbers, especially for a team that's going to be really bad. Memphis is not going to be good. He's going to be the main focal point with all the ball handler. All right, let's get to our picks. Who's in the finals? Who's going to be representing the West, Riley?
I got the Clippers. I think the defense in LA is just going to stop everybody once they get to the playoffs. Nobody's going to be able to score with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, Patrick Beverly, Montrezl Harrell. I think they just shut everybody down and get all the way to the finals.
Anybody else got the Clippers?
No.
I have the Clippers.
All right, you got the Clippers. I got the Clippers as well, T. Why you got the Clippers?
I mean, I'm kind of with Riley. I think, they'll be able to play defense. They'll be able to score. They kind of can do it all. They kind of almost can switch between their big guy. I mean, there's perimeter guys can switch 1 through 4. So I see why not. Like in playoff basketball, it's all about matchups and everything. And I feel like they can match up to anything. It's all about if they can stay healthy.
Yeah.
If Kawhi can be healthy down the stretch and Paul George can be healthy down the stretch, then I see why not. It's hard for me to go against LeBron, but they just don't have enough perimeter guys for me to get it done. But hey, I'm all about LeBron proving me wrong. If he proves me wrong and win the championship, I will not be upset at all.
So the last we've seen of Kawhi is he lost in a Game 7 to the Heat. He then beat the Heat, and then he got injured in a Game 1 against the Warriors that he was up 30 points in, and then he won the finals last year. Until somebody beats Kawhi in the playoffs, cool. I got any team Kawhi's on. That's why I got the Clippers. Dawson, you're the odd man out. Who you got?
I got the Lakers, man. I can't stress this enough. This man LeBron is the best player in the league. 1. 2, he just added probably the most versatile big man we've ever seen. They are set up for success. I can't go against LeBron and AD. They have pieces to go with them. They're not amazing 3-point shooters, but I think they'll be good enough. I just can't go against LeBron. I think he's going to come out, be really good, healthy. He's strong. He's 35?
Yeah, he's old. He's old.
But he's playing like he's 24, man.
Yeah, he doesn't look 35 out there at all.
He looks good, man. He's healthy. I think he's gonna come back with a really, really, really good season and remind everyone who has forgotten what this man looks like as a 100% basketball.
Well, when you spend $1 million a year on your body, you can look like a 24-year-old when you're 35 years old. But hopefully we get like a Lakers-Clippers Western Conference Finals.
I'm praying.
I would love like 7 games in LA. It would just be really fun to watch on TV. No travel. You just talk about off days and all the strategy. It'd just be a lot of fun for us fans to watch. All right, Dawson.
Yeah,
what you got, T?
Our friend Kyle, who couldn't join us on this podcast, had the Clippers winning all 2.
Ooh.
Couldn't have joined us due to technical difficulties, but he wanted me to add that. So he's got the Clippers winning it.
So I think we all agree. We like LA. LA's going to be the heart of basketball this summer, baby, for everyone. All right, how about out east? Dawson, who's coming out of the east for you?
I kind of said earlier, man. I think the Celtics come out of the East.
Ooh.
I can't imagine the teams in the East. I know Giannis is good, and I just don't see the Bucks making that same kind of push as they did last year with Chris Middleton as basically, that second piece as top tier kind of guy.
A number 2, a true number 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless Giannis really develops his mid to outside game, I just can't imagine those teams allowing him to do what he did last year.
So Giannis has looked good from the 3-point line in the preseason. I know it's early.
Sure.
It's a preseason. We'll see. Riley,
We'll see.
What about you?
Yeah.
What do you got?
This is going to be a little surprise, but I got the Nets
Ooh.
coming out of the East. I think KD, fingers crossed, he makes it back right before the
No
playoffs
way.
start.
Okay, hold on.
Hold on.
Time out.
No way.
Fingers
Pause.
crossed.
Skirt.
Wait, I thought they already said he was done for the year.
Yeah.
So they're going to
Whoa,
risk.
I did not read that.
No, so they're going to risk long-term. So what you're saying is they're going to make a
Heck yeah.
short-term trade-off and risk
Yeah.
long-term KD health. So KD might come back this year, but
We've
if he
already
does,
seen that, though.
he'll only be 85% for the rest of his career. But if he sits, he might be 95% of KD. You think they would take that risk?
I think they have a really good team already. Throw KD in there, they're going to win it all.
Ooh.
I think KD does not see the court at all this year.
I think it's
It's
a little risky.
When we get to June, we'll see.
I like.
But
He's gonna be so out of shape. Like they've already been in a rhythm. Like there's no reason to try to throw KD in the mix. I think it's just like a bad. I don't know. You got your whole deal, but I don't.
They got Joey Hoops on the team, Chris LeVert, Kyrie, DeAndre Jordan. They got a pretty solid bench. I think if KD somehow makes it back, they can get to the finals.
And KD just gets you buckets. No matter what, he'll get you a bucket. All right, T, who's coming out of the East for you?
I got the 76ers.
Let's go!
I love Ben Simmons.
Let's go! Trust the process, baby. Trust the process.
I love Ben Simmons. I love everything the 76ers are doing. I don't trust Brett Brown. That's one scary thing.
Yeah.
But, sometimes players just guide the coach along and, everything works out. But I'm a big Ben Simmons fan, so I'm all about Ben Simmons winning the championship.
I'm very worried about Brett Brown, which is odd. He seems to be a bad coach late in games with time management. From a guy coming from Pop school, where Pop is the greatest coach maybe ever when it comes to the small details of the game. Brett Brown seems to be not very good at it. Ben Simmons did hit a 3 in the preseason. I'm praying I'm hoping. I think Al Horford is a huge pickup for the team. He's the only guy I've ever seen in the East that can stop Joel Embiid, and now he's on Joel Embiid's team to teach Embiid how to get even a little better, maybe stronger mentally, because Embiid's been known to be, a little loose up there. Sometimes he picks up a bad foul or does something a little suspect, pushing a guy or punching a guy in the face. He's been doing that before. So hopefully Horford, calms him down, gets him into that state of mind, and I think they get it done. I know they can beat the Bucks. I'm with Dawson. I'm worried about the Celtics. Brad Stevens seems to have their number, but without Al Horford, I think the Sixers get through to the end. All right, so who do you have winning, Dawson? Who's the champ?
I mean, you want me to say it again?
Oh, he's going with his boy. Give the King's
It's LeBron, dude.
King
it's
in the
LeBron.
crown. King's gonna
LeBron.
wear his crown.
Yeah,
I like it.
I'm not going through the whole spiel again.
I like it. That's a good
He's
pick.
here to stay. He's back.
Consistency is key. How about you, Riles?
Again, I think LA as well, but the Clippers, their defense is just going to overpower anybody who comes on the court, won't be able to score. So I think they end up winning it all.
Terrell?
I like the 76ers.
Oh!
Wow.
I don't need
Whoa.
to say it again how much I like Ben Simmons. I love LeBron. Ben Simmons is like my next guy up. So I got 76ers.
All right, so I will begrudgingly, because I can't be that much of a homer, I'm going to take the Clippers over the Sixers, but we all know I'm just putting it on the record where the heart will be if I get this matchup. But I think until someone beats Kawhi, he's the best player. He got really disrespected by the GM vote today about the value of him. I think he is the best player when it comes to playoff basketball. He's kind of a strange guy, but he's got a lot of dog in him, just like LeBron, and I'm all about guys who got dog in them, and that's what gets it done. Yeah. So I got the Clippers as well. So
you'll need a team to get somewhere because you're Yankees here, not looking
Stop trashing my baseball team. We still got a lot of
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
All right, so what's everyone's honest thought about Zion? Honestly,
I think he's just a hooper. I think I watched him in the tournament. He got big bucket after big bucket for Duke against Michigan State in the Elite Eight. He makes plays. He's like, I don't think he's gonna be like LeBron level good because he's a little undersized. He's a little big, but he's just kind of that guy. He gets you a hoop when you need a hoop, and he makes plays and he knows how to win.
Terrell?
I kind of agree with Pete. Like, I don't know. I think like people say he's gonna need to get in shape. We'll see. This is an 82 game season. He's looked good in the preseason, so like I think he's gonna be legit. I just don't know if he's gonna be able to do the things he did in the college, but it looks like he is going to be. But I can't take that all in because the preseason is so different. Like he's probably just playing against scrubs who are not even gonna be playing in the NBA like in a week here. So it's gonna be interesting to see. I think he'll, kind of digress as the season goes on. It'll be a lot of ups and downs for him, but I think he'll, at the end of the day, he'll probably be a beast.
Riley, thoughts? You feel the same way or what?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think he's got to develop a jumper, but I mean, based off the preseason as well, he's getting whatever shot he wants close to the rim.
I don't know what it is, but I just have this weird feeling, and when I watch him play, that kind of like what Terrell was saying, he's not going to be able to do those same things that he's did in college. And he's done it so far in the preseason, kind of. And he has these games where he's 10 for 12 and, 12 for 16. And he's just shooting layups and dunking the ball. And then it's just I don't know. I feel like there's all this hype around Zion. And then at the same time, I also feel like he's not going to live up to it, even close. Just because I don't know if he's I don't want to see that good, but that dynamic of just when I see him play, I don't see a hooper, I see a big dude who kind of bullies around and dunks the ball. He's got a great vertical.
Agree with you.
So
I definitely see that too.
I get
the way
that.
He moves and the way he he just doesn't look like a hooper to me. So I don't know if that's just me or what.
He just feels like he has the personality. Maybe he's not. It's hard. You are the number one pick. There's going to be all the expectations in the world. He's got all the hype. maybe he's not a number one guy. Maybe he's a number two guy, but he feels like he has like that. He just like his personality is so big, and he's never gonna be upset about anything. He just wants to play basketball. He feels like he's having a good time. He feels like kind of the anti DeMarcus Cousins kind of attitude. So I think it just helps, just having a guy like that on the court, in the locker room. It makes all the difference in the world. So he may not be, a Hall of Famer or anything like that, but I think his personality really helps long term for just, even if he's a number two, just adds. It just adds.
So going off of that, like there's so much hype around him. The media plays him up so much, and like Zion. I've never seen anything like don't put Zion in the same conversation with LeBron first.
Yeah.
Second, I just so do you feel like, is he a bust if he's a number two guy that, kind of goes through his career? Who knows if he wins any rings or not? Like, do you see him as like a bust?
So it's hard to tell. I don't think he's a bust, especially if he's not, if he has that positive attitude like he seemed. Like he came back from the injury at Duke. He had no business coming back from that injury at Duke when he blew his shoe out. Like, look at Cat. Look at these guys who've been drafted number one. They're kind of, they put up great numbers. They don't do a whole lot of winning. So if, I can't really call him a bust just relative to how many busts we've actually had at the top of the NBA draft. But I get what you're saying, Ed. He may be underperforming for what the hype is.
I don't know. That's just how I just kind of been thinking about that. Just with you turn on the TV all the time and all you hear is about Zion this, Zion that, blah 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 blah. Like I just don't personally. I don't really see it.
See, and this is why we don't listen to the TV. You listen to us because we provide the insight.
Right, we provide the.
All right. So, anything else anybody want to add? No. All right. I think we're good. All right.
One last thing. Let's pray for your Yankees.
Oh my God!
That's
Stop.
all I gotta add. One more last time. Let's pray for your Yankees.
Stop. It's all right.
I
can look forward to my Vikings to disappoint me later in the season also. So I think that's gonna just about do it here for our NBA preview for the season. Season starts on Tuesday. So I hope everyone's ready, and we'll keep you all posted. Let us know if you like the new format. Maybe we'll try and have a half-season update, maybe another update before the playoffs. But we'll see you all again. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And see you all later.